This episode of Techno Buffalo is brought to you by Netflix. Is Leo DiCaprio going geek for an Oscar? Speaking of movies, we all know a whole bunch of Apple stuff just came out, but what's around the corner? Are movies in the cloud next for iTunes? And you know what? It's called Rumor Roundup, so let's round up those crazy iPhone launch rumors and see which ones panned out. It's Techno Buffalo's Rumor Roundup. Hey, what is going on, everybody? I'm Noah Kravitz, editor-at-large for Techno Buffalo, and welcome to this edition of the Rumor Roundup for the week ending Friday, October 14th, 2011. This episode of Techno Buffalo's Rumor Roundup on Revision 3 is brought to you by our friends at Netflix. Happy iPhone 4S launch day, everybody. You know, whether you're an Apple fan or not, it's the big news. So definitely head over to Techno Buffalo, check out the other Rev 3 channels, catch up on all the latest. Pre-orders selling out, people waiting in lines, iPhone madness. Enough said. First off, Hollywood, computer science, match made in heaven, Oscar bait? Could be. Word is that Leo DiCaprio has the inside track to play Alan Turing in the upcoming biopic The Imitation Game. Now, for those of you who need a little bit of a history lesson, Alan Turing really is one of the fathers of modern computer science. He was especially big, especially known for his work during World War II, where he helped crack German codes, helped crack the Enigma machine. And there's actually a test called the Turing test, which obviously is named after him, and machines that can run the test, Turing machine, you may be familiar with that term, but the Turing test basically asks if a computer can produce answers to questions that are indistinguishable from human answers. So he's had a big role in shaping the modern world, modern theories of artificial intelligence. So there's a movie being made about Turing, a biopic, The Imitation Machine, and Leo DiCaprio, you may know him from such big-time hits as Growing Pains. There's a movie about a boat, too. DiCaprio said to have the inside track on playing Turing, and given Turing's life, not just his immense influence on computer science and how big technology is these days, but also the rest of his story. He was persecuted for being gay, he was given estrogen shots, and he wound up committing suicide. All kinds of, really just a great story, but a story of human tragedy, greatness and persecution. Really interesting story, obviously the kind of thing that may have Oscar contention written all over it, and Leo may be up for the role. We'll have to stay tuned on that. Speaking of Hollywood, reports came out this week that Apple may finally be closing negotiations with Hollywood studios to bring streaming movie content to iOS devices. Apple has reportedly been talking to studios for years now, but at the same time, the studios have been interested in a technology called ultraviolet. Ultraviolet is linked to Blu-ray discs and basically would allow owners of a Blu-ray disc to stream a copy of the content to another device. So basically, you buy a Blu-ray, you can play it in your Blu-ray player, and then you can also stream a digital copy to your cell phone or your tablet, that kind of thing. The catch is that ultraviolet does not work with Apple technologies. Just like Apple never adopted Blu-ray, Apple reportedly not at all interested in ultraviolet. Instead, they want to get the studios on board with iTunes, and iTunes in the cloud specifically, which just launched on Wednesday vis-a-vis iOS 5, and of course today on the new iPhones, iPhone 4S, that ship with iOS 5. There were rumors that this functionality would be lined up in time for the iOS 5, iPhone 4S launch. That didn't happen, but now reports coming from multiple sources that Apple and the studios are close to a deal, and if they can get the deal done in time, iTunes Movies in the cloud may launch before the end of this year, if not, then early next year. Stay tuned for that. Speaking of movies, good time to remind you, this episode of Techno Buffalo brought to you by our friends at Netflix. Like how I did that, it's like this Hollywood theme. Leo DiCaprio, movies in the iTunes cloud. Oh yeah, Netflix. Thanks for making this possible. With more than 23 million members, Netflix is the world's largest subscription video service, instantly streaming TV episodes and movies. Members can easily watch thousands of titles on a vast array of devices streaming TV episodes and movies, including Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Nintendo Wii gaming consoles. As a Netflix Unlimited member, you can watch as many videos as you like, There are no late fees or due dates. And for a limited time, as a new member and a Techno Buffalo viewer, you can get a 30-day free trial. Just go to netflix.com/buffalo and sign up now. Be sure to use this URL so they know we sent you. It's netflix.com/buffalo. And finally, since it's a week that was heavy on news, a little light on tech rumors, let's go back and round up all of the rumors that led up to the iPhone 4S launch. iPhone 4S available today, globally, available today in the US on Verizon, AT&T, and for the first time ever, Sprint, along with the rest of the iPhone lineup. So all these crazy rumors that happened, a lot of them, basically the ones that had to do with the external design, did not come true. The iPhone 4S more or less looks like the iPhone 4. There's no aluminum unibody construction, there's no teardrop design, there's no edge-to-edge display. The display did not get larger. It's the same 3.5-inch Retina display found on the iPhone 4. What did happen were a lot of those rumors about the internal technology did come true. Obviously, launching with iOS 5, Siri technology, which Apple purchased a while back, a big part of the iPhone 4S and iPhone 4S only, in the form of the Assistant, the artificial intelligence. See another thread there, Turing, artificial intelligence. I'm weaving this together, it's terrific. A big part of the new iPhone 4S experience, you can talk to the device using natural language and your wishes, its command, that sort of thing. So that happened. Upgraded processor, of course, the A5 dual-core processor, first seen in the iPad 2, is powering the new iPhone 4S. Upgraded camera, 8 megapixels, much faster shutter speed, which is huge, and 1080p video capture. Also, iTunes in the cloud functionality, the photo stream automatic syncing, the wireless backup to the cloud, as well as wireless syncing to your computer, your PC, or your Mac, backup of your contacts and all your personal information. So a lot of the internal stuff happened, a lot of the external stuff didn't happen, and also they only launched one new device. They did not launch a lower cost iPhone. There wasn't like an iPhone 4S and an iPhone 5. There wasn't, an iPhone mini, something like that. What they did do, which is what they've been doing, is they knocked the previous models down in terms of pricing. So the iPhone 4 is now cheaper. The iPhone 3GS, still available on AT&T only, is now a free on-contract device. And, it's fun to get caught up. Obviously, we wouldn't have a show called Rumor Roundup if it wasn't fun to get caught up in all the rumors, and I certainly do too. But when you look back on it, Apple does sort of have a pattern of doing things. They launched the 3G. 3GS came the next year with internal upgrades, speed, camera, that kind of stuff, OS upgrades, same design. iPhone 4 came out, new design. 4S now with internal upgrades again, but the exterior basically the same. It does set a pattern, and Apple likes to break patterns. They like to follow patterns and then break them, so who knows? That's why we're in business. But it does set a pattern for possibly sets up a date for our totally revamped iPhone 5, probably with LTE, to come out next June, July of 2012, when all of the original iPhone 4 buyers will be rolling off of their 2-year contracts. Anyway, all right, if you bought a new iPhone 4S, enjoy it. If you've already got an Android phone or a BlackBerry or a Windows Phone 7 or a Symbian phone or a Migo phone or a feature phone that costs like, $10 a month and just makes calls, gosh darn it, enjoy that too. Whatever it is, enjoy your week. Till next time, we're back every week. Techno Buffalo on Revision 3, 3 times a week. Ask the Buffalo what's the apps, and Rumor Roundup. And again, this episode of Rumor Roundup brought to you by the good folks at Netflix. So go check them out if you're into streaming movies. And always check out Techno Buffalo for the latest on whatever's going on this coming week. I'll be at BlackBerry DevCon Americas in San Francisco. So we touched on some BlackBerry rumors last week regarding BlackBerry Messenger for Android. Stay tuned for whatever happens at the show, and I'll be back next Friday with another edition of the Roundup. Till then, my name's Noah. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.